When you look in the Netherlands, you see high density living and you see sustainability and more connection. I would like to see more railway investment, trams, like there is in Luton Dunstable. There's now the guided busway. I'd like to see less people in cars, more people cycling. I'm a keen cyclist.
The world is changing and it's changing really fast. So technology, the way technology is going, if we don't bring people together to learn from each other and be abreast with time will pass us by and we'll still be where we are.
This is a great chance to look at where food comes from, to be actively involved in food security, so that we know that the food that we're eating locally is grown locally. So that perhaps gives a clue. I think we should keep a wonderful green belts that we've got in the area, that actually the rurality of central Bedfordshire should be maintained.
I think the way forward is to create an agile working community where people could come together, brainstorm, work together and come up with some wonderful ideas.
Our vision for Biggleswade and Central Bedfordshire is that it is a very forward-thinking area. Strategically, it is very well positioned around the middle of the country. There's a growing population and there's exciting work opportunities locally, and we've got great hopes for the area.
When you look at new development, you might look at something like Marston Valley, which is ONH's new proposal, which is a kind of gladed series of communities that form one place. And it's got lots of park, it's got open space, it's got water, it's got leisure, but you don't get that without high density. So I think we've got to start to move away from everyone having their own house to living in more apartments. And a lot of people won't like that, but I think if you're trying to buy somewhere and you can afford that, then you might like it. And if it's done well with perhaps coffee shops, community space on the ground floor, it can work well. And particularly when it gives us more open space, more public space, and perhaps more ability to have sustainable communities which are connected with public transport, cycleways, and not cars everywhere.
When we look forward to 2050, some of the key infrastructure and challenges we see are about connectivity. Connectivity of power to those distributed communities, the connectivity of telecoms, and the connectivity of the travel infrastructure to allow us to get from our place of home over to the place of work. In addition to that, we also need to have the right infrastructure in place so that we can bring jobs into the area and we can also ensure that we build these communities.
A lot of companies move towards remote working. We're actually the opposite because we're a manufacturing business. We need to have people actually on the ground in the factory building things. It would be great if they could live locally. There was some sort of, low-cost transport, electric cars or whatever it is, or something like that, so that they can actually come to work without having to travel a long distance, without having to be held ransom by traffic jams or whatever on the A1, and basically make it easier for them to work.
I'm quite heartened by the efforts to improve the infrastructure around our congested area. Certainly I'm excited about the Oxford-Cambridge Arc. I think that's useful because east-west transport is difficult. It's a question of getting that infrastructure right for the future. There'll be further generations of my family who are going to take over my business that they're going to have that challenge. So we need to maintain the area and the infrastructure for them and try and improve it.
People will still, I believe, live in houses and they will still require goods, and the internet will no doubt have developed a lot by then. And our industry and our buildings provide the hubs for delivering those goods to the homes. So, for example, people order their shopping online now, and I think that will only become more and more prevalent in the future. And so you will need warehouses to deliver the goods. And I expect that there will be autonomous cars, there will be autonomous trucks, there may be drones if Amazon have their way, delivering products directly to people's homes.
At Millbrook Proving Ground, what we're looking for in our transformation into 2050 is transformation of the type of vehicles that people are going to use. Whether that's a commercial vehicle or a passenger vehicle, there's a transformation of combustion engines into electric vehicles. The transformation from standard vehicles into connected and autonomous vehicles. All of that requires a change of infrastructure and a change of testing. And that change occurs not only in the physical world of changing the physical, it also occurs in the way of simulation. And simulation allows us to test lots of scenarios in a safe way very rapidly, all the different scenarios that we will see on the roads and streets in the future.